Hey everyone, Tamikaze here again, doing some commentary and showing you a map that I thought was really cool. I played this probably a year or so ago. It is called Villa, and it appears to take place mainly outdoors in this courtyard type area. And it's I believe it's called a prototype map. There's no perks in here. There's no pack-a-punch. There's just the mystery box, and it does not move. So there's no dog rounds. There's no Bowie knife, I don't believe, and so it's like one of those first generation maps. And you know the at first glance, the layout, there's nothing like all that interesting or significant about the way that the map was constructed, but this map does have some very interesting features that make it up. One of the first things, okay, there's there's explosives like all over the place too. In some of these maps, you start shooting at the zombies, and then you accidentally hit like some explosive barrel, and it makes for some pretty humorous moments, assuming you don't blow yourself up. So yeah, no chance of getting any perks here. So you really have to be careful with your movements, paying attention to the zombies at all times, and just making sure you don't get swiped really at all, because you can't afford to get swiped by a zombie, because that could easily lead to a double swipe, and then the show's over. So so yeah, the zombies all come from outside. None of the zombies spawn inside the building. So once you go inside the building, you can really count on all the zombies coming in from a certain area. And since I do love camping so much, I was able to find an area that you can camp here, and well, with a certain amount of success. Now, there was a Villa 2, or Villa Part 2, or Villa Version 2, which completely revamped the formula for this map and made it much lesser, in my opinion. I'm not sure what the mapper had in mind when he remade it, what he was really envisioning, but I feel like he really took away all of what made this map so unique. And maybe you've noticed this already, maybe not, but these zombies, like for being round 1 and 2, they have an extremely huge amount of health. Right from the get-go, and it only increases. So, I mean, you just have to, be really careful, and so yeah, that's kind of an interesting feature. Something else, or a couple other things, there are boss rounds, and I mean, for being an older map, the idea of a boss round, I mean, that has to be a pretty unique feature. There's also headshot only rounds, and then rounds called speed rounds, and I think that's because the zombies are significantly faster on those speed rounds. I'm not entirely sure. I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention, but the boss rounds you certainly notice, and then the headshot only rounds, of course, you notice that, because it doesn't matter then where you shoot the zombies. If they hit a headshot, they're not going down. So get the max ammo. Oh yeah, okay, good. So yeah, so a lot of point building, especially from the get-go. Make use of this pistola. And then inside the building here, that's when things really start getting weird. There are a few rooms inside, and then there's a basement, and I can't wait for you guys to see the basement. If you haven't played this, I think after I played this map for the first time, I had nightmares, because it's just, you're not you're not expecting it, you know, because if it's like, oh yeah, it is a first generation map, so it's not going to be all that impressive, and I'm kind of used to that, and so I'm just thinking I'll probably play this map once, you know, and just so I can say I played it, and then I'll probably never come back to it. So that's really what I was expecting. Get the Thompson, old reliable. Yeah, that sign right there said, excuse me, said boss rounds, or bosses every 5 rounds, or boss rounds every 5 rounds. So the fact that there's just these built-in game modes, you know, within this map, this very unassuming map, is really, really cool. Speed round. Yeah, let's see if the zombies are any faster. You know, I have a feeling that this map's like not complete, and I gotta get rid of those barrels, or I'm gonna jack myself up with them when I least expect it. But yeah, and that's what you'll find with some of these maps. Some of these maps seem like, oh, you know, they just don't seem like they're quite complete. And maybe the mapper, you know, ran out of ideas, didn't want to work on it anymore. You know, didn't really know where he was going with it when they built it. But yeah, so I'm not exactly sure what to think of this map, but I do know that it's very, very cool. And yeah, boss, yeah. So and I'll still probably play it again, you know, especially, you know, if I co-op or something like that, if I ever decide to go that direction. Because, you know, you just want people to be able to experience what you were experiencing when you had such a good time with a map. And, you know, this map can easily be overlooked, because I think there's a map called, you know, there's this one called Villa, there's Villa 2, which I don't really recommend. There's also a series called Village. I think there's like Village 1 through 3 or something like that. So there's a lot of similarly titled maps that you could get confused with, and then maybe overlook this one. But definitely the original version of Villa, this one right here, don't just pass over it. It's worth a play. If just to see what's in the basement. Because, you know, usually you think of like, map makers run out of creativity maybe later on in a map, and then so the last part of the map is much more underwhelming and less impressive than the beginning part of the map. Not so with this one. This one starts out unassuming and kind of maybe bland and boring, and then it just it goes all weird and sick. So, alright, headshot only round. So, the zombies will not go down without a headshot. So, the fact that I have the shotgun, there's a pretty, you know, wide spray, you know, with the pellets in the shotgun. So, if I hit anywhere in the head-shoulder range, I believe that counts as a headshot. Even sometimes I have to shoot the zombies twice with the shotgun, which is a little disturbing. Nothing should die with more than one shot from a shotgun, right? I mean, it should only take one. But anyway, this map is messed up and twisted. Yep, see that guy? It wasn't enough. You gotta like stick the barrel like up their nose to get the headshot. Yeah, that wasn't even good enough. So, you know, you're trying to, maybe you're thinking like, you know, you'll run around in this courtyard area, do your circle strategy. Well, doing circle strategies is really creepy and hard to do when you don't have Jug or stamina up like we're all used to by now. So you don't really want to. I'm not playing with a headset or headphones or anything like that. So I don't really have the surround sound audio of the zombies. So I'm really relying on the sound coming from speakers that are right in front of me, which don't give you that. You can't really you know, whatever they call it. I hate using the term sound horror because it's such a stupid expression. But yeah, that's what it is, really. You can't really tell when they're coming up behind you. So I want to use as much of this double barrel as I can, just so I can, you know, trade it out for something else. I just hate wasting ammo. I think I end up going with a weapon that's on the wall anyway. So, you know, the box can be like your worst enemy at times because, you know, you want to get something good from the box. You want to get like the PPSH or an MG. But then, you know, you hit it a few times and you don't get anything good, then you're like, oh, I just wasted my money and maybe I should have just gotten a wall weapon. And maybe you should have. So shame on you. But yeah, some of these rooms are kind of are cool looking. I mean, they're probably nothing. Okay, probably nothing special necessarily about them because it's all images that you see from other maps too. You know, there's really no. I want to say, like custom textures or anything like that. So, okay, so something else I want to mention. It can change rounds as maybe you noticed. It can change rounds without you killing all the zombies off. And I know that's very, very hard to explain, hard to imagine. Like why would it do that? It's always with the death of the last zombie that triggers the next round. Not so with this map. There was one zombie left, and then I was just kind of letting him walk around, and the next round started. There's a time, I believe, that I have like 3 or 4 crawlers, and the next round starts. I don't know if it's a time thing. I don't think it's a time thing, but I'm not sure what else it's linked to. Maybe it's like the time between, you know, like how much time it is between the time you kill the last zombie, not the last zombie, but your latest zombie or something like that. If like a minute or 2 goes by and you haven't killed the zombie, maybe it just triggers the next round or something like that. I can't really figure it out, but yeah, this is the boss round, and this guy is taking a ton of punishment. I'm trying to shoot him in the face with this shotgun just to bring him down faster, and he is just laughing at me. Alright. See, as you can see, like, you know, his chest was getting red, you know, he was taking damage, it was, you know, clearly visible. There I blew an arm off. Yeah, here I go with the STG. I will never intentionally pick up the bar. I think that is just such a lame weapon. Maybe you like it, I think it sucks. Okay, there I got his head. But he wasn't done yet, he kept walking toward me. So yeah, so that's the boss rounds. It's very, very original. At least it was original back when, you know, when this map came out. You know, just give a zombie a whole lot of health and then yeah, then you have yourself a boss round. I think with the UGX mod, the UGX team really kind of capitalized on that idea and made the boss zombie more freaky and more rewarding also. I'm not sure if I'm coming up on the end of this video or not. Nah, I do this one. I do this all in one part here, so I don't split this one up. But so yeah, so I'm just trying to get points so I can show you guys the basement area, because, you know, without the basement area, this map really would be just I mean, it would still have the interesting features, you know, as far as the unique rounds and things like that, but the creepy basement is really what I kind of made me want to come back and play this again a couple times. I feel like you could play this map and then write a story based on what you're seeing. You know, your own, you know, zombie fiction story, because it's just so creepy, and like I was hoping for like a viable ending or something to leave me with a feeling of satisfaction. But excuse me, but these maps were like before the days of viable endings. You know, no maps back here had viable endings. You know, it was just you basically open as many doors as you can, and then you get abandoned you know, in some, you know, in usually a pretty inconvenient place. But you know, that's what map makers did. They just ended their maps, and why not? I don't know if the features weren't available yet, or whatever. People just didn't know to do stuff like that, or know how to do things like that, to put viable endings, or, you know, I mean, geez, if this is before the days of perk machines, then, you know, it's certainly then before, you know, any of the other modern advancements that we enjoy. You know, one time I heard a guy who kind of like preached against the Bible ending idea, and because he said that the Bible ending is no different than buying a button or a switch that just kills you. You know, and you're like, well, that's, at first you're like, oh, that's stupid. You know, it doesn't, you know, it's different than it killing you, because you feel like you were rewarded for getting to a certain place in the map, saving up a certain amount of money. But in all actuality, it accomplishes the exact same thing as a button that kills you. It ends it. It ends your experience. Now, whether it tells you you're victorious or whether it tells you you died, whatever, it's, I mean, that's kind of irrelevant, whatever. But anyway, now we're in the basement. You saw that guy with like a hatchet in his chest, or whatever it was that was in his chest, a meat cleaver, blood, you know, dingy walls, you know, just nasty looking, something like, it's like out of like a Saw movie, but it's like, yeah, probably out of a Saw movie. Anyway, but yeah, then you get, okay, look at, then okay, if you, maybe you can't see outside those windows or inside those windows, but you can visibly tell in playing the map, the hallways go back really far. So it's like, you're like, man, where the heck are these zombies coming from? A great distance, a swinging body. That's very cool. And I accidentally trade out. I don't remember that this is actually something you can buy, so I trade out my Thompson for Colt M1911. I am so screwed. But anyway, in each one of these doors here, these bar doors right there, yeah. Inside each one of them is like a weapon of some kind. Like the ray gun is in one of them. I think there's like an MG, like the MG42 or some LMG is in there. There's like the Panzerschreck, I believe, is in one of them. The flamethrower, I believe, is in one of them. And I've actually run a circle strategy. See that crawler was clearly still alive, and then the round ended, went on to the next one. So I don't even know what's going on when that happens. It just must be like the demonicness of this map. So just weird things like this, you know, you can't even wrap your mind around what the heck's going on. Just too weird, too evil, too villa. Yeah, whatever. But so yeah, so you have this unassuming, almost normal looking building, and then you go into this dungeon type basement, and it's just, yeah, it's just nasty. But then it takes you through a couple rooms and down a long hallway into this one like last stand room, you know, and you have your choice of assorted weapons, you know, in those doors. But then you're left there. You know, there's no traps. There's no max ammos. You know, you are left there to die, to become one of those victims in there. And that's really creepy, really cool. You know, if you've played this before, I would love to hear what your experience was. If you haven't played this before, I believe I downloaded this at zombiemodding.com. It was either that or like that. I don't know. I don't know where else I would have downloaded it from. But yeah, probably zombie modding. So yeah, I highly recommend giving this a playthrough, and bring a friend for, you know, some experience. I do, like I said, I do camp that area up there, and before, when I played this map before, I camped that area a lot longer than I do now. You know, I just kind of, I get a couple of you know, good weapons, just even the Thompson and the STG, and just hold out up there until you can't hold out any longer, and then jump down. And then what jumping down does is most of the zombies that are up there with you will just stop. And, you know, a few of them turn around and go back, but a lot of them just stop till you and wait till you kill them off, which is kind of weird too. That's probably just a glitch, something that didn't get fixed because this map is probably unfinished or was abandoned. But yeah, the round changed again, and there's quite a few zombies still alive. No explaining that. Yeah, I don't know what my high round on this was. It was probably in the teens somewhere, and I think I ended up just holding out in that last stand death area. I even had the ray gun, and I was, yeah, look at these hallways that just lead to nowhere. Oh man, that's just so creepy. I mean, in just the worst, at the worst time, you could be like, okay, this is my escape, and then it's not. It's actually leads to your death. So that's just just more interesting weirdness about the map, you know. But yeah, so I ended up holding out in that last area, and even though ran a circle strategy in that last room with the ray gun, like, you know, no jug, right? So I'm blasting guys in that room without jug. I can't tell you how many times that I almost killed myself, but I prevailed. Oh no, this is it for me. Here's where I go down. I got caught on some corner or something like that, and that was it for me. But anyway, I've gotten much farther. But if you guys like this video, I'll play it again. I highly recommend go out and play it for yourself. It's a really good map, you know, for being one of those prototype type maps. But anyway. Have fun playing it, and I'm Tamikaze, and I'm out.